Grandma Miss SYA just want to say congratulations. Congratulations on your brand new podcast, Elevated Mindset Podcast, LLC. I'm so proud of you, ladies. I'm so proud of you, boss bitch. I'm so proud of you, boss ladies. I knew that you would do it. So congratulations on business number 372,809,007 million. That's the way boss ladies do it. So Grandma Miss SYA just wanted to come by and say congratulations, babies. I hope Elevated Mindset go #1, and we gonna be tuned in every night down here at the home. They tune in right now. They ain't even used the bathroom. Some of them smell like piss and everything around here. But we tuned in, and again, congratulations from Miss SYA. I love y'all. Now let's get this damn show on the road.
Who's ready to elevate? Who's ready to set it straight? Who's ready to talk about the topics up for debate? See, you can't rehearse this. We ain't talking purses. We're talking about breaking those generational curses. For us ladies, it's urgent. Babies running to surgeons, wanting fixed in a hurry. In the fog, they're blurry. Men keeping us worried. Tables are topsy-turvy. Wanting ladies to save them and ladies emasculating.
Then Wonder Woman.
Yes, 2 and 2, we back.
We are not to be played. Yes, 2 and 2. We are. It's been a lot.
See, he make the possible out of the impossible. He's clearing your pathway. He's moving them obstacles. See, he give you strength to stand when the mothers pray that you fall. Feel like the world on your shoulders. He the one that come live it all. With the reason he paid the cost. To get life he gave up his own. When it seemed like nobody with you, got him, you're never alone. When it's one set of footprints, just know he carried the load. Won't leave you forsaken, judge you when you're feeling like hope is gone. See, you tried it your way, but it didn't work. Quit making your own way. Gotta put Jesus first. Stop taking the wrong way to leave off this earth. Look, God is the strong way, so you must know your worth.
The time has come. The time has come. Welcome in, everybody, to Elevated Mindset Podcast, LLC. I am Miss SYA herself, owner of SYA Communications and Marketing Firm, and I am 1/3 of Elevated Mindset Podcast. Welcome.
I am D. Alexander of ARG, 2/3 of Elevated Mindset.
And I am QMIFOK, Power Moves PR, CEO of My Folk Entertainment, 3/3.
All right. Although there are several topics that we can touch on today, several topics, and we're going to get to them over time. Today, we're going to talk about a particular topic. I was asking both D and Q, both of you guys, I was asking about this particular word that I hear used, not just from young people. I hear it used a lot with older people too, or people that I would think would not be using this word. The word op. This is something that's real popular, D and Q, real popular right now. The word op. I know you guys might have heard of this word. You may have not. You can chime in just a little bit. But the word op, it's a big deal. And so I had to look it up, and I was wondering, what exactly does op mean? It's supposed to be opposite, opponent, something like a enemy. And in some cases, with some of the younger generation today, it's like, I consider it something like a frenemy, okay? Because they are making it it's very fabricated, very glorified today for people to even have an op. They look at it to be a good thing to have an enemy, especially if they're within the music industry or they have a platform that they can speak on. The op situation becomes a good thing for them. They speak on it in a way negatively, something that gives them material for their music. So this op thing has become a big deal, and it's sadly tarnishing the generation because now people are seeking out to look for an op, to look for an enemy. And these days it's in 3D, so it's leading to things such as murder, aggravated assault, which leads up to eventually murder, and they're catching charges, and then they're making songs about these people names that they have murdered. They make they name them after a marijuana. The marijuana strand becomes the name of the murdered person. That's what they're doing now with ops. So I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on what you actually thought about QD, the op thing. Is it something familiar to you? Like, and if it is, what are you guys' opinion on it?
Well, for me, that is new because, of course, I don't have any young people that's around me on a regular basis. So this is my first time hearing it. But me being from, like you said, our generation, when I hear ops in my mind, I'm thinking it's an opportunity. So I
Right.
don't know about, the vernacular that kids use today and why they looking for enemies. It blows my mind because no matter how old you are, there are enemies. You may not know about them, but to look for an enemy or to look for somebody to have a beef with or a op with, it just is mind boggling. And I think that a lot of times, I don't know, it's like they're searching for something just to be a part of or to belong to for whatever reason. I think it's pretty dangerous.
It is. It is.
Well, for me, I think that, I mean, it's definitely not something that we used in our generation, like we talk about generation, different gaps. But I will say that because of us being in the industry that we're in, we're around a lot, so we've been able to kind of still, navigate through the different vernacular they're using right now. So I know recently somebody used the word op, and I read it, and I was on Facebook, and I was like, why would you even want to put that out? Like, why would you even want to put that type of energy out? Number one. Number two, sometimes I think maturity plays a lot in it when when somebody says, oh, that's an op. Okay, maybe they are, but why do you want to give energy to that situation? And again, that all comes down to maturity, because we were younger, we you know what I mean? And so we was ready to attack situations or whatever, but now you get mature and certain things you just kind of look over. But the whole op thing to me, I think is I mean, for me, like I said, because I think it's ridiculous. I think that our culture and our community really needs to pull together and start focusing on other things. I think that I was telling a young man today that be a leader. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean you can't be like a cool kid, but focus on being a leader, because that's what we need right now. We need that right now. So looking for an op or wanting to talk about an op, they don't do nothing to get you killed or get you in a situation that you really don't want to be in.
Away with Words, my new book, is available right now at Amazon. It is available in both ebook and paperback versions. This book is a great read. Away with Words, literally, figuratively, motivationally speaking. I put my heart and soul into this book. Make sure you cop the book, available on Amazon right now. Get your copy.
Look, you can't help it that you pop it and they stop it. You can't help it that you pack it and they lack it. You can't help it that you great and they late. You happy and they crappy. Ain't got nothing to do with you. That's a damn problem. That's a damn problem. That's a damn problem. Ain't got nothing to do with you. That's a damn problem.
Because I was speaking to someone the other day, music is ministry. And this is a whole piggyback of the op situation. A lot of it came to me through music. That's where I started getting the word from first, through music. We all three know collectively that's my background, Q as well. Well, the thing of it is I first got that word from the music. So with that being said, I looked at that and said, wow, okay, this is where the music has started diverging to. This is what they speak on. This is what they teach. And you look at it, and it's not like everybody has always been squeaky clean with what they deliver in their lyrics. We know that.
Right.
We have some people though that keep it well rounded. They might give you a little something raunchy, but they keep it kind of well rounded.
Right.
Example, you know, Tupac
Right.
example, you know,
Right.
Biggie, people that give you something with a little substance, and then they might go the other way. But now all of the lyrics that people are talking about is the op, what you're smoking in the blunt, which is usually one of the murdered people's names. Because when I got that, you talking about mind blowing, D. So I look at that and say, well, whenever I get a chance to, with my own son, I make sure that I give him some knowledge and put something in his head to make him understand what my view is on what I see going on.
Right.
We're talking about something that I honestly was just talking to my daughter about the other day. And the bottom line for me trying to teach her is, even as a young woman, is value and understanding, you know, the things around you that are valuable. Your family, your resources, your siblings, your kids, your family as a whole. So, you know, when you start screaming ops and things like that, that is a trigger effect. You understand what I'm saying? So,
right.
And that doesn't mean you can't get into something, but it's one thing to get into something, just you stumbled into it, as opposed to somebody just walking around and creating these situations.
Absolutely.
And
or being knowledgeable or educated about what you're even following. You know, a fad.
Right.
Some people are going to fabricate and make things seem bigger. We know that.
Right.
A younger mind that's still impressionable, they look at things different. So just like you were saying, Q, they finding something to follow. So I always tell him, do your homework.
There you go. And
so that's the best advice I can give. Do your homework before you just follow something.
Right. And at the age of my grandchildren, you know, they're at that age now where they are social media all the time for whatever reason. And it's really easy to fall into a fad just because it looks like it's fun or it looks cute. And so, like you tell your son, do your homework when they ask me questions, and sometimes they don't because they know grandma is just going to put it out there to them, you know, and, you know, make them understand that this is not good, it's not cute, it's not cool, and it's going to lead you down a path where nobody's going to be able to help you. And, you know, I've always told my kids that in order for your children to be productive citizens once they get out into society on their own, it's up to us to teach them what they need to know at home, because school is not going to teach it to them and the streets is not going to teach it to them. The streets don't care anything about them. So when they're looking for these ops and then you find it, that op might be prepared to give you something that you weren't expecting. So now what? And so to your question, what do? We have to find a way to educate and just drill it in as much as we can.
Same stuff. It's just different. But unfortunately, some stuff just heightened because they do things on a different level now.
Right.
And they live life like a real life Grand Theft Auto. And there's no do-overs when you live in life like real life Grand Theft Auto. That's the only thing I want them to understand. You can't do this over.
Yeah, because
one time around.
I thought YOLO was the thing that bothered me a lot. And so now here we
What was it?
YOLO.
Oh, YOLO.
I had to ask one of my kids, okay, so you guys have kids. So you guys are up on, you know, this more than I am. So what is YOLO? And my daughter told me, and she was like, you only live once. And I'm like, what kind of stuff is that? Like, you don't want to, we all have to go, right? But that
was actually created, I think. Some people took it and ran with it, but it was created in a positive way. When that statement first came out. Because it was meant to say, go for it. Because when I first got it, it didn't have anything negative. No negative connotation was added to it.
But I guess I'm glad you're sharing that with me.
Because some people want to use it in, you know.
Because by the time I got it, that's what it was. It was like, just do whatever.
Was your take on it? Because it was always a positive thing for me. I even bought my little dog a shirt that said, you only live once, I got from Miami. Because it was a big tag.
This is my first time hearing it, honestly.
YOLO?
See?
Yeah.
YOLO is like 2013. Or it might be older than that. It might be. But it's a ways back because when I went to Miami, I got Alexandra the little doggy shirt, and it had YOLO, but it never had negative connotation to it.
And
it was
the thing
supposed to
is,
say, do it, go do it. You only live once. What you waiting for?
And in that respect, okay, yes, that's a word. And I looked it up too. And so there were different meanings on it for us. And I guess it depends on where you are in your life, how you apply that YOLO, because like you said, they're just flipping the words around because YOLO was positive, but then by the time it gets down to a certain age group, then it's reckless. It's
or a certain task, because some like you were saying, some people want to use it for what they want to use it for.
Right.
Because if you think about the term and say you only live once.
Right.
Hey, it depends on where your moral and ethic fiber lies. Because if I'm saying that, hey, I never really slept with a married man, which I do not. Let's be clear.
Right.
But if I'm sitting and saying, hey, you only live once.
Right. Or like
so I want to use that for my own benefit, right? I want to use that for my own good. So I get what you're saying. It depends on how a person want to use it.
Yeah.
So that's the way that goes.
And so, Q, since this is your first time hearing it, in the few remaining moments that we have, speak on what your thoughts are now that you
because you only live once.
Both sides.
YOLO.
Right.
Yeah. You only live once. I can rock out.
I always loved it.
I can rock out with that one just because you only live once, and so it's about taking risks, calculating risks, planning, and just making sure that you got some type of vision written down, or just journaling or something like that. I mean, that we can go all the way left with that one.
Right.
But I'm like, what I do want to come back to, I want to go back to what we were talking about earlier. And one thing that Flaw said was being like impressionable, like the children being impressionable. I wanted to bring it to a little bit to a different generation and about them being impressionable. But we were talking about just the whole makeup of that younger generation. But what about the older people that are impressionable?
Well, that's what I meant with the ministry of the music.
Right.
The same way we was ministered to, people say all the time, babies were made by Luther, babies were made by Prince and Time and different things like that. Music ministered to us. So just imagine the music that's out now, that's mainstream, and that's what they gravitate towards. That's what's ministering to them. Not nice R&B that we were listening to and ballads.
Right.
And stuff that we wanted to get on the floor and slow drag. They're not doing that. So they want to grab their waist and they want to ride around in this bop, bop, because that's what's ministering to them. Same way as I was speaking, I had a friend that her auntie came in and she just boo-hooing and she was listening to what she was playing and she said, that's your problem. You in here listening to that music and letting them people sing that stuff to you. And that's why you can't get over that man. You need to let some other music minister to you. Turn that mess off.
Right.
And I was looking at her like, this lady, I'm thinking this whole crazy church lady. But when I waited and dissected what she said, it made a lot of sense.
Right.
That's why you in here crying. Turn that off.
Right.
Stop letting them people make you think you sad.
Right. Right.
So those people make them think they gangsters. They make them think they hard. They even make them think that they are living vicariously through those people. I'm like they're that's not your money, honey.
They're invincible. They're untouchable.
Yeah, you can't act like that towards your girlfriend. Right. You don't have the same things that man have, and he shouldn't be doing it. But the bottom line is you can't pacify it with nothing on that ramen noodle budget.
Yeah. This for my people who've been limited. People trying to tell you what you can't do, what you can't be, what you can't dream. Everything I do big. I walk big, I talk big, I live big. And success is the sweetest revenge, baby. Do you.